So there might be some businesses who watch this, um, Deborah, and a bit skeptical about it and say, "Oh, they're just doing it to win work." Da, da, da. But just sort of tell us about the business case. Is there a clear business case for social mobility and embedding social value into how you do your business?
Yeah, I think there is an absolute clear business case in it. This is about the values argument, isn't it? Values shouldn't just be about cost and price. Value is about the outcomes that you drive. And this is something we constantly push back. We push back on government with this as well. And we're now seeing actually that conversation we can now have. It's taken, you know, this guy, this has taken a long time to move them into that direction and move away from the bottom line. Cost is always going to be important, and you always have to articulate that, but it's the value what you bring, the whole value, the value of the outcomes. So, and that's what you really need to articulate. So yes, you do have to put a business case forward on that. So we very much commit to this. You know, we don't just say it. It's not just fluff. It's not just words, because it is very much part of what we do. We want to commit various pledges that we hold our hand up to, and we'll get measured on them. So for example, we've got a commitment to fill 5% of our vacancies with prison leavers, where appropriate, as well as providing lots of mentoring to female offenders as part of a mentoring program that we've got.
Do you get challenged around the sort of like promotion of low pay? I know you pay above the living wage, but the lower paid jobs, and how do you sort of justify those low paid jobs in terms of just supporting people up the ladder?
Yeah, it's a really important point. We're obviously members of the Living Wage Foundation. Absolutely, we want all our people and all the Sodexo people that work in Sodexo directly are absolutely paid as a minimum that.
I guess my question is, how do you maintain a steady ship when you have all these political agendas being thrown at you? I mean, how is that, or are they kind of all linked? How do you manage that relationship with the policies?
They are all linked actually, but you do have to manage it, definitely. So it's really understanding the agendas is really key. Understanding what they're trying to do, but then understanding the impact on our businesses and how we can interact with those agendas and what it means for the communities that we work in. So it's trying to look at that whole kind of cycle of everything and bringing it together and bringing it back so it actually is something meaningful. So we do have to look at that as a whole and then really drill it down into the areas. And this is some of the work that Angela and the team have been looking at, how we really look into the regional focus and work with some of those areas specifically. So one example of that is where we've just become a supporter of the Greater Manchester Combined Authority, their Good Employment Charter.
Yes.
And that's really significant because it's quite a hard thing to do, to meet all the commitments that are in there. But actually, in that area, particularly for us, we've got a lot of business in that area. We've got our own offices and our own employees in that area. So there's a significant amount of productivity already there, and we can continue to grow it. And it's how we can continue to grow it and how we can work with some of those agenda items to make it better for everyone.
What's the messaging, the messages that you want to give government, whether it's government in waiting or government in place now? What are the messages that Sodexo are giving out to our politicians?
I think one of the key messages for me, for both of them actually, is you need to trust that we are responsible businesses. We know we're a responsible business. We obviously need to articulate that and prove that to you. We totally understand that. But you need to trust in the businesses that they can deliver, because it's got to be about us all working together, which is how we really do grow the economy and the productivity and do have that whole regional diversity that we need. Can't do it on your own.